Marco has been in the business of beating the book since 1980, and this may be one of his best winning runs of all time. After finishing the football season on an insane 17-4 run, Marco is doing the same in hockey and the NBA. He's 18-5 in the NHL for the season, and his NBA plays are 17-3 against the spread over the last 20 plays. This week only, Marco is offering 1 full year of all-access service, regularly priced $19.99 for just $11.99. That's just a little over $3 a day for Marco's winning advice for 365 days. Hurry, because this deal does end Sunday at midnight.
All right, guys, welcome in here. Happy Friday to you. Time for another edition of the Pony Pundits as Derby Day. Now that we've gone through all the prep races, just a couple of weeks away. We've got plenty of stuff coming your way, getting you ready for that race. But we have one of the most exciting races coming up this weekend, the Apple Blossom guys at Oaklawn. I really wish they would do more races like this. Feels like a Breeders Cup style race here that we've got with two of the absolute best that there is going toe-to-toe in Oaklawn. And we, too, have two of the absolute best most of the time going at each other here. Welcome in Marco D'Angelo and Sig of WagerTalk.com. Both are ready to go because I know they're excited about this race. They've done nothing but yell at each other for the last 20 minutes behind the scenes, guys. So they're pumped up here. Whether they agree or not, we're going to figure it out. But Marco, welcome in. Happy Friday, my man. I mean, no kidding. This really does feel, I wish we had more of these style, mano-y-mano kind of races that we've got going on, very much like the Breeders' Cup, but we've got it at Oaklawn at the Apple Blossom this Saturday.
Yeah, a race like this, Joe, could have a long say as far as the year goes to who ends up being the horse of the year as far as the filly and mares go. These are two of the absolute best, and obviously we're talking about Monomoy Girl and Swiss Skydiver. They're going to go toe-to-toe. I have a feeling that myself and Sig might be going toe-to-toe with our selection on top in this race. So I'm excited to do the race, and we do the even odds. Joe, who are the two favorites this week? What are they, even, odd?
They are, they're even. So that means...
that means I have the odds. Okay.
Correct. That's exactly it. Sig, don't let him bully me around, though. Let's be... You got a 6-year-old going up against a 3-year-old. It's a very interesting style race. I just wish we'd get more of that throughout the year. But it's going to be one fun day tomorrow there. Short field. We're going to go through all of them. But your thoughts on the Apple Blossom?
Agree with you completely, Joe. We need more races like this. Unfortunately, with the way the breeding is so forth now, if a horse is really good, they end up going to the breeding shed, and that's where the ownership, the connections to make their money is breeding those horses. But having horses like this, 4-year-olds and up, we got a 6-year-old Monomoy, a 4-year-old and Swiss Skydiver. It's going to be a nice matchup. We were looking forward to this in the Breeders Cup Distaff. Didn't work out quite that way, but I'm sure we're going to touch on that as we go through the field.
Monomoy Girl has crossed the finish line first, 15 of her 16 races as a 6-year-old. And I'm sorry, but Swiss, I'm looking at this horse and going, that's 5 different tracks. That's a win at 5 different tracks. It's absolutely amazing. But there are a few other horses in this race, so we'll go ahead and break it down for you coming up. But I do want to take just a second to let you know, of course, Sig's Racing reports available daily, guys, 9 a.m. Eastern time at WagerTalk.com. All you have to do is head over to Sig's page. You can see it, wt.buzz/Sig right now. Get his daily racing reports each and every race day by 9 a.m. Great opportunity right now through, of course, the Triple Crown races available at WagerTalk.com. And Marco, you saw the commercial in the beginning there. Marco right now giving you guys an opportunity to hop on board a 1-year, 365-day all-access package, every sport, every play, 365 days, guys, at a ridiculously discounted price, $11.99, usually $19.99, guys. The opportunity to take advantage right now and invest in Marco for the next 365 days. Just head over to his page at WagerTalk.com. Well, Marco, you mentioned that the favorites are even numbers, so we're going to start with the odds. That means you. So we are going to go, let's talk about the horse number 1 that we've got up here. Another Broad. Talk to me about this 10-1. When is who was president last time this horse won a race? I'm not even sure. You got any? Give me some hints here, Marco. What do you think?
Well, it hasn't been in the last 2 years, Joe. Only raced once this year, but did race 8 times last year. 0 for 8. Did finish third 5 times, but I can't get excited about a horse that can't find the winner's circle. And I tried to find something nice to say about this horse, and there's not a lot to say nice. Hopefully, if it rains, which at Oaklawn, it seems like it rains every single day, that's the only high point this horse has had, because in 7 career starts on muddy tracks, this horse has 4 wins, a second, and a third. Only ran off the board 1 time on a muddy track. However, that off track was her last race, when she was beaten 31 lengths in her season debut to this one insane Monomoy Girl that Sig will get to talk about later in this show. So nothing nice to say. Another Broad. I don't know that that's really politically correct to say these days. Call a filly a Broad, but you know what? That's about the nicest thing we can say about her in this race.
I went Broad, but hey, tomato, Marco, I'm with you, man. We're going to go number 2 here, Swiss Skydiver, obviously. The 1/2 of the 2 favorites here. Swiss Skydiver opens up as a 2-1 morning line here, Sig. And again, the thing that stood out to me is, what are we looking at here? The Preakness, obviously, but 5 wins, 5 different tracks. I mean, really impressive here for this 3-year-old.
Yeah, Joe, Swiss Skydiver had a hell of a 3-year-old season, capping it off basically with that Preakness win. We were all looking forward to the Breeders Cup matchup between Monomoy Girl and Swiss Skydiver. Swiss Skydiver stumbled out of the gate, never got recovered from that. So we never got to see this matchup that we're expecting to see Saturday here at Oaklawn. Like I said, she won the Preakness. She won 5 races last year, and she has hit the board in her she has 6 wins in her last 9 races, and she's hit the board in all of those races since last February. She's won here at Oaklawn. She won the Fantasy here last May, which would typically have been Derby weekend. And then she went on and she won the Preakness here, beating Authentic at Pimlico back in October. She's faster than Monomoy Girl on paper here, but I think she lacks the heart that Monomoy Girl showed us over and over for the past few years here. And that can't be taught. No matter how much work Ken McPeak does with her, how much work Robbie Alvarado does with her, the 2 of them are going to battle down the stretch here. I mean, I think Swiss Skydiver is going to sit right off of Letrusca, who we'll be talking here about next. Mark will be talking about next. And I think Monomoy Girl is going to be right off the 2 of them. If Swiss Skydiver tries to push Letrusca or tries to get that pace going a little faster, it's going to set this race up really well, I think, for Monomoy Girl. But Swiss Skydiver definitely has a chance to win this here. Looking forward to the matchup, and I can't wait to see the race tomorrow.
Yeah, that's number 2 there, guys. We're going to move on to number 3. Obviously, we're looking at, sounds like the pace setter here, Letrusca, 4-1, Marco. Talk to me about the chances of Letrusca hitting the board here. Do you like him?
Well, she needs to get moderate fractions, but no matter how slow she sets the pace on the front end, she's going to have to still hold off a hard charge from the 2 favorites in the race, Monomoy Girl and, of course, Swiss Skydiver. Yes, this horse, there is no speed in the race. She will get to the lead easy. The question's going to be, will she be able to sustain it? Her last 3 starts, the speed figures say that, she's improving and can go with these horses. And it's hard to ignore a horse that 17 career starts has 12 wins in 17 starts. You'll like to see that. But then you look over next to that and you look at the earnings. A horse that's had 12 wins should have more money in earnings than just $550,000. Not to scoff at $550,000, but when you win 12 races, you should have more earnings there, which tells you that the races she's been winning is far less talented horses than what she's facing here. She could stay on the ticket. I don't like her to win this race. She'll get some love at the window because of the speed and the jockey switch going to Irad Ortiz in this one. So, hard to fault that. I mean, nothing against Joel Rosario. He's one of the best in the country, but everybody knows that for the last couple of years, it's been, Irad's world as far as the driving colonies have gone. So everything's shaping up for this one to make a big race, but I don't think she holds off the other horses.
All right, moving on. Number 4 here, Sig, Chance to Shine. We got a 20-1 morning line. We got a Turfway Park horse here. Looks like likes that track, likes that surface. How does that translate into here?
Well, Joe, I got to tell you, Saturday will not be this mare's chance to shine. While having some success in the ungraded stakes of smaller tracks like Turf Paradise and Prairie Meadows, a trainer change near the end of last year saw her connections asking her to step up to some tougher competition. She won the Holiday Inaugural Stakes at Turfway Park, like you said, here back in December, and then they've entered her twice here at Oaklawn in the Pippin and the Bayakoa, January and February, where she finished 4th in both those races. I don't think she has the class to compete with this field here. I think she's looking at some horses that definitely aren't Turf Paradise and Prairie Meadows quality, and I don't think she has a chance here to be a factor, other than this being a small field and maybe using her in the last spot or using all on your last spot on your Superfecta tickets if they do offer Superfecta wagering. This one's a toss for me, basically.
All right, moving on. Number 5, get rid of what ails you. 6-1 morning line. Brad Cox in the house. This 5-year-old showed up at Oaklawn, I think, after about a 9-month layoff there, Marco. Came from the clouds. Seems to be exactly what she likes to do. She always seems to be somewhere towards that finish line. What do you think about tomorrow?
Yeah, this is an honest racehorse, one of those, plotter grinder types that has a big closing kick. And if they get, moderate fractions up front, she could pick up some tired horses at the end. The problem here is I don't see a lot of pace in front of her. As we said, there's not a lot of speed in here, so it should be moderate fractions. But this will be a horse that'll be charging at the end. And what's interesting about this horse is, although she is a 5-year-old, she only has 8 career starts. So the ceiling's still not there. And I think the problem's been, and if you look, she had 3 starts in 2020. In those starts, the last one was in March. So this is a horse that, basically was off 9 months before they brought the horse back, raced in January, first start, came from the clouds, was sitting 10th at one point in that race, and won the race going away. Granted, it was a small stake race, $150,000 purse. Then comes back and races in a grade 2 and finished 3rd, hard charging 3rd. Just got beat by Letrusca, the horse that's going to set the pace in this race, who finished 2nd in that race for only the 2nd start off a very long layoff. That was a good stepping stone race, setting her up. We talk about this over and over. 3rd start off a long layoff is when you're going to get the best effort out of a horse. So this horse has every license to improve today. It's the other Brad Cox horse. So it's not going to get a lot of attention because all the other attention is going to go to Monomoy Girl. Don't sleep on this one in your exotics. And the thing that tells me this horse is talented is, she's a mare. They could have taken the easy route. If she developed a problem last March that was going to sideline her for the rest of the year, they could have just quit and said, hey, this is a good bred mare out of a Ghost Zapper sire and a AP Indy mare. That's good breeding. They could have sent her to the breeding shed, but this horse must have some real talent that they like, that they gave her the time to bring her back to the races at age 5 after a 9-10 month layoff. So this is going to be a good start for her. I will be using get rid of what ails you on my exactas and trifectas.
All right. Well, that leaves us with one horse here, Sig. I mean, no introduction here. The numbers are just disgusting. 16 career races. We've got to go back to when she was 2 to figure out a time she actually didn't cross the line when she was in first spot. It's amazing what she's done. 14 victories, 7 grade ones, 4 different tracks. You'd be hard-pressed to find a better horse than this in current form right now. Your thoughts on the even money favorite?
Well, Joe, to beat a mare, you got to beat the mare. Woo!
Yeah.
Paraphrase the nature boy Ric Flair. Though she's going to get a run from her money from Swiss Skydiver, Monomoy Girl has not been beat since 2018. She's crossed the finish line first in all those races. Did get DQ'd in the cotillion at Parks a few years back to second. You can't beat this horse. The only person that can beat this horse is Monomoy Girl. And even at 6 years old, we're fortunate that they brought her back at 6 to continue the race. They could have put these horses out for breeding. They keep coming back. They keep winning. Brad Cox at Oaklawn Park is on fire. Laurent Giroux's been aboard her for all her trips, knows exactly how to ride her, and she knows when to go. She has the heart. Yes, Swiss Skydiver is going to give her a run. Swiss Skydiver is the up-and-coming horse. You can't be the champ until you beat the champ, and Monomoy Girl is the champ.
Yeah, she absolutely, until somebody takes her down, and who knows if that's going to happen here, which makes this 6-horse race an interesting way to approach it. We'll get to some of those best bets here in just a second. Take a look at both Marco and Sig's card. We do want to remind you, of course, both Sig and Marco can be located at WagerTalk.com. Sig, of course, has got his daily racing reports every race day available by 9 a.m. Eastern Time. You can head over to WagerTalk.com and grab those. And then, of course, Marco, great opportunity right now for you to grab a 1-year full access, all plays, all sports, 365 days, just $11.99. That's usually $19.99. Great opportunity to hop on board with Marco for the next 365 days. All right, Marco, coming to you first, my friend. Talk to me. Let's see what your card looks like in this 6-horse field here, the Apple Blossom tomorrow.
Well, Joe, I could go the logical way and say, hey, let's go with Monomoy Girl on top, but I'm not going that way. I'm going with Swiss Skydiver, and I'm not doing it just to be opposite of my buddy. She's going to pull the upset, and here's why. Okay, first of all, everybody's going to look at that Breeders' Cup race last year. It is the only time these 2 horses hooked up together, and Swiss Skydiver was soundly beaten. The trainer on this horse, Kenny McPeak, has done a fabulous job with Swiss Skydiver. One mistake that I disagreed with wholeheartedly was racing her in the Breeders' Cup in that race against the older mares. She was a 3-year-old when she did that race, and it's so much of a disadvantage for a 3-year-old to be racing against the older horses, the more seasoned horses like Monomoy Girl. You give up so much in experience. Not only that, the horse stumbled out of the gate. She practically went to her knees. The race was over for her right out of the gate. But I'm not going to use the stumble as the excuse in that race. I'm going to go back to that 3-year-old angle. And I want you to look at Swiss Skydiver's schedule last year. This was a horse that was on the Triple Crown Trail. They were considering racing this horse in the Kentucky Derby rather than the Kentucky Oaks, and even did race the horse in the Preakness. If you remember last year, the races obviously were out of the normal order because races got moved because of COVID. Here's the thing. Swiss Skydiver started her campaign the normal time that horses start 3-year-old campaigns. She had a long season. She raced all the way to the Breeders' Cup in November. She raced 11 months last year, 10 races. That is way too many races for a 3-year-old. And if you look at them, those were all the big races on the card. There were no cakewalks, no walkovers in there. She raced all the big prep races for the Triple Crown races. She flew all over the country. You mentioned how many different tracks she won at. She was a tired 3-year-old at the end of the season last year, and Monomoy Girl took advantage of that. Now you got a 4-year-old. You've got more maturity. And trust me, horses grow up When you turn them out for that little break from that 3-year-old to 4-year-old season, they mature a lot, and she will be fresh. We're going to see a true match race in this one, and I'm going with Swiss. I can't say her name. Swiss Skydiver to pull the upset, and I'm going with her on top. Then, of course, Monomoy Girl second. Then, as I talked about the 5-horse, get rid of what ails you. In this case, that would be Sig right now. And then the 3, Letrusca, that is to round out the superfecta. But there you have it. I was able to sneak a couple even numbers into my tickets there, even though I wasn't able to talk about them. But I had a lot to say about Swiss Skydiver.
So to recap, that's 2-6 Sig 5-3, somewhere in that order right there, I believe. So good to go. All right, Sig, talk to me, my friend. What is your card looking like for the Apple Blossom?
Well, Joe, it's amazing that Marco and I both handicap separately, but always seem to end up on the same horses. Like I told you guys just a few minutes ago, Monomoy Girl is my pick in here. Until she gets beat, she is the champ. And I think she just has that extra gear. I think Swiss Skydiver is going to be on the pace with Letrusca early, with Monomoy Girl just off. And I think if Swiss Skydiver pushes Letrusca, the two of them are going to get going pretty fast on the front end, because Letrusca is going to try to set some slow early fractions here with Irad Ortiz aboard, hoping to steal the race late. And Monomoy Girl is not going to let that happen. I mean, she gets wound up on the far turn. Florent Giroux gets her going, and then she just sort of finds an extra gear and just goes right by the field here. She'll swing probably a little bit wide here on the field. So I got her on top. I think she wins this race. I think Swiss Skydiver gives her a nice run down the stretch, holds on for second. Letrusca, I think, will hold on, even though it's set in the early fractions for third or fourth here. And agree with Marco, get rid of what ails you is a better horse than what you see on the program or in the past performances. Francisco Arrieta's picking up the mount for Brad Cox. Only the second time he's riding for him. But Arrieta's had a great Oaklawn meet so far this year. His first time over there, and I think he gets it done. I think we see some combination of 6, 2 with the 3 and the 5 here to complete out the trifecta and the AE superfecta.
Yeah, and she's going to be coming, too, number 5. So look out. She's going to be charging at the end, so it should be a lot of fun there, guys. The Apple Blossom, just after 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Tomorrow, Oaklawn, but you don't have to wait until then. Of course, you can get full cards right now heading over to WagerTalk.com. Sig will be ready to rock and roll on a full day of racing. His racing reports 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and Marco is locked and loaded. Nobody hotter right now than Marco and what he's been doing, not only in the NBA, but, of course, Major League Baseball in full effect for Marco as well. A lot of opportunities to make it one hell of a profitable Saturday, guys. So make sure you head over to Marco's page at WagerTalk and, of course, get a full racing card in this weekend. Make sure you visit Sig at WagerTalk.com. So that'll do it, guys. Apple Blossom, another Pony Pundits in the books. We'll have next week off, and then, of course, we'll be back ready to go, getting you all prepped up here for the big Kentucky Derby just around the corner. More Pony Pundits coming your way. In the meantime, best of luck at the track there tomorrow. Best of luck this weekend, and we'll talk to you again soon.